What's good, everybody? Let's get started today with a question. Imagine waking up tomorrow as the smartest person in the world. You know everything: science, philosophy, languages. Every problem suddenly seems easy. The question is, does your life get any better? That's the topic we're looking at today with the novel Flowers for Algernon, and trust me, the answer isn't as simple as you think. My initial reaction to this question was, of course it does. How could it not? But after reading this novel by Danial, I'm not so sure. Are intelligent people happier? Do they have better lives? Do they get better scores on anything other than quiz shows? Or is the best case scenario to be exactly who you are with a little effort put in to be better? My vote is for the second option, but let's find out. If you don't remember which classic novel Flowers for Algernon is, here's a recap in 30 seconds or less. The story follows Charlie Gordon, a man with an intellectual disability who undergoes an experimental surgery to increase his intelligence. The story is told through Charlie's progress reports, which show his transformation from a kind but mentally challenged individual to a genius who surpasses the doctors who engineered his change. As Charlie's intelligence peaks, he realizes that the surgery is only temporary, and he begins the regression back to his original state. Alright, my peeps, class is in session. Let's discuss. Right at the start, it would probably be a good idea to define what intelligence actually is. Actually, it might be easier to define what it isn't. One of the most common metrics we use to classify intelligence is the IQ, or intelligence quotient test. I'm not saying that this is a good thing, but that's the way things are right now. The main thing that IQ measures is certain mental faculties, things like logic, abstract reasoning, learning ability, and working memory capacity. The jury's still out on whether or not being able to find your way to the ice cream in the middle of the night with the lights off should count for or against you. However, intelligence is far more complex than a single test score. Psychologists have identified multiple types of intelligence, including logical/mathematical intelligence, like reasoning or recognizing complex patterns and solving complex problems, the kind that scientists and mathematicians have; linguistic intelligence, like super skills in reading, writing, and communication. If you are an author or a public speaker, this is probably you. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, the ability to understand and manage emotions or empathize with others. Artistic intelligence, creativity in expressing things through art, music, or storytelling. Moral intelligence, making ethical decisions and understanding right from wrong. In Flowers for Algernon, Charlie experiences big-time changes in his cognitive intelligence, but his emotional and social intelligence don't develop at the same rate. This disconnect plays a significant role in his struggle for the good life. In the beginning of the novel, Charlie may not be a genius, but he's happy in his own way. He has a job, he has friends, or so he thinks, and he's excited about learning, even if his progress is slow. He attends special education classes at Beekman College for disabled adults, where his teacher, Miss Kinnian, encourages his desire to learn. He has a simple life and does not question his place in the world. However, his happiness comes from ignorance rather than genuine connection. Charlie does not realize that his coworkers mock him and play cruel pranks on him. He believes they care about him, but in reality, they're using him for their own amusement. This raises an important question. Is ignorance truly bliss? If Charlie had never gained intelligence, he would have continued living in a false sense of happiness. It's one thing to like Oreos by themselves, but once you've discovered the cookie milk combo, there is no going back. Once he becomes aware of the truth, his world is turned upside down. After undergoing the experimental surgery, Charlie's intelligence increases rapidly. He begins reading advanced books, solving complex equations, and learning multiple languages. He surpasses the very scientists who conducted the experiment and becomes frustrated with their limitations. However, as his intelligence grows, his relationships begin to deteriorate. The bakery workers he once called friends become uncomfortable around him. They can no longer joke with him in the same way, and their bullying becomes more obvious. Eventually, they turn against him, leading to his dismissal from the bakery. Miss Kinnian, whom he once admired as a teacher, begins to feel distant from him. Although they briefly develop a romantic relationship, Charlie's rapid intellectual growth creates an imbalance. She can no longer relate to him, and he finds her intellectually inferior. This isolation highlights a critical theme in the novel. Intelligence without emotional connection can lead to loneliness. One of the main reasons my relationship with my computer has yet to take off. Charlie has gained knowledge, but hasn't developed the ability to form meaningful relationships. He has outgrown his old world, yet he does not fully belong in the new one. Charlie's happiness is further challenged when he realizes that his intelligence is only temporary. Through his research, he discovers that Algernon, the mouse who underwent the same procedure, is starting to lose his mental gains rapidly. Algernon's intelligence fades and his health declines until he eventually dies. Charlie understands that he is facing the same fate. This knowledge causes immense psychological distress. He is no longer the man he was before the surgery, but he also knows he will soon lose the intellect he has gained. The impending loss of his intelligence makes him question his own identity. Was his happiness as a mentally disabled man more real than his temporary intellectual success? Was it worth experiencing knowledge if it only led to greater suffering? I often have this same thought when finishing Firefly, knowing that I'll never get to see it renewed for a second season. Two major factors contribute to his unhappiness. He's scared of losing his intelligence. Charlie worked so hard to gain knowledge only to realize that it will all slip away. He's been rejected by the world. He has become too intelligent for most people to understand, leaving him unable to connect with others. His loneliness is no longer just about intelligence, it is also about the fundamental human need for belonging. This decline illustrates a paradox. Intelligence can expand a person's understanding of the world, but it can also increase their awareness of suffering. In Charlie's case, knowing too much about his condition only brings him more pain. Throughout the novel, Algernon serves as a symbol for Charlie's own journey. Both underwent the same procedure, and both experience intelligence in a way that isolates them from others. One of the most thought-provoking moments in the novel occurs when Charlie watches Algernon run through mazes. Even with his intelligence, Algernon remains trapped, running in circles without understanding the bigger picture. This can be interpreted as a metaphor for human existence. No matter how intelligent someone is, they are still subject to forces beyond their control. People navigate life, solving problems, facing obstacles, and striving for meaning, much like Algernon in his maze. Even Charlie, at his peak intelligence, cannot escape his fate. Kind of makes you think that Marvin's opinion about being stuck on the heart of gold might have been correct after all. We tend to think of intelligence as the ultimate advantage, but think about the happiest people you know. Are they the smartest, or are they the ones who form strong friendships and navigate life with emotional wisdom? Brief clarification, make sure the people you're thinking of aren't just happy because they've been imbibing copious amounts of inebriants. That kind of happy doesn't count. Charlie's story raises a fundamental question. What is more important for a happy life? Intellectual intelligence or emotional intelligence? While Charlie's IQ soars, his emotional intelligence does not develop at the same rate. He struggles to communicate his feelings, form lasting relationships, and understand the value of human connection. The novel suggests that emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in happiness. Charlie's most fulfilling moments occur when he shares genuine connection with others. Whether it is his friendship with Miss Kinnean before the surgery, his companionship with Algernon, or the fleeting moments of self-acceptance he finds later in the novel. His experience supports the idea that intelligence, while valuable, is not the sole factor in leading a fulfilling life. A person can be highly intelligent but deeply unhappy if they lack love, empathy, and human connection. In Flowers for Algernon, Charlie's journey reveals that intelligence is not the key to happiness. The key to happiness is having more money! No, JK. While knowledge can provide opportunities, it can also lead to isolation and pain. Emotional intelligence, the ability to form connections, understand emotions, and find meaning in life, plays a more crucial role in long-term happiness. Charlie's story serves as a reminder that human value is not determined by intelligence alone. Whether someone is highly intellectual or not, what truly matters is love, kindness, and the ability to connect with others. In the end, it turns out that the smartest person in the world isn't always the happiest. Maybe the real secret to life isn't knowing everything, it's knowing how to connect. Thanks for tuning in this week. Subscribe for more novel talk, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.